Hey, I'm a guy, and I make YouTube videos.
It's not too late, it's never too late.
Hey, before we get today's topic started off, I just wanted to say one thing, and I know since he's probably going to be watching, I thought you were making fun of me for a second there when you did that voice. Touche, my friend, touche. So, today's video is all about characters. Characters in video games, to be exact. And I went through my lists of games that I've played on Xbox, and these are some of my favorite characters from just a wide variety of games I've happened to play. I'll give descriptions of the games and why these characters are my favorites. So let's start off with first character, which might be the best one if you've ever played it. Bill from Left 4 Dead. If you haven't played Left 4 Dead, you should just stop watching this and go play Left 4 Dead right now. Go buy it, leave your house, do whatever. Just play as Bill and just listen to the senile Vietnam vet, and it's some of the funniest stuff you've ever heard. So there's Bill from Left 4 Dead. Next we have Altair from Assassin's Creed, the first one. Altair I liked because in the very beginning of the game, you just think he's this awesome guy who has all these powers, and you'd be like, yeah, I have these for all the game, and I get more throughout the game. And then you lose all your powers, and then you see he's actually a pretty big D-bag. And then as you go through the game, he becomes less of a jerk, and he becomes more understanding and stuff. So the way he transitioned from being that jerk to that really cool guy is why he's one of my favorite characters of all time from Assassin's Creed. So next we have the Berserker from Borderlands. And I don't know if I'm using the right name, maybe it's the Brawler, but the big guy with the arms that punches people a lot. And he is funny just because of what he does. He has some of the funniest lines in that game, and I just think it's funny because whenever he goes in whatever Hulk mode, whatever you want to call it, you can say some of the funniest stuff, and it'll be hilarious. He's just like punching little bags. You just be like, I'm Hulk, and you can just say a bunch of crazy stuff. And so that guy is really cool. Next we have Voldo from Soul Calibur. And I just have to say, if you don't know who Voldo is, go look up Voldo Soul Calibur 4 fight and just watch this guy. And as long as he does like the back handstand, then you're good. Then that guy's just a beast. You need to find out who Voldo is if you don't know. He's just hilarious how he fights. Next we have Hayden Tenno. And if anybody, I am going to leave this one up. Hayden Tenno. If you find out who this guy is, I will give you a shout out on my next video. Whether you're a big time star, whatever, I will give you a shout out if you can tell me who Hayden Tenno is, and leave it in the comments down there. And on my next vid, I will announce who Hayden Tenno is for those of you who neglected to take the time to look it up. I'll even spell it for you to make it easier so you can Google it. HADYENTENNO. If you don't find out, then sad on you. And I will only give the shout out to the first person that sends it in the comments. Next we have Alan Wake. And Alan Wake, again, is one of those games, and I know it sounds like the game, but that's also the character's name. He's just one of the most developing characters on, like, his believement level. It's just, if you haven't played Alan Wake, I can't describe it. Leave your house right now and go rent Alan Wake for 2 years and play it nonstop. And it's just a great game that everybody also should be playing. Next we have John Marston from Red Dead Redemption. John Marston is just one of those cool guys who you think would, like, older people who you think would be really dumb because he's so old, and then you just, like, by really old, I mean, like, 40. And for a guy riding horses and doing all he does in that game, he's pretty old. So that game, his character was just one of the best developed characters I've really actually seen in a game in a long time in terms of story. And same goes for Alan Wake. Next we have Matt Hazard. And Matt Hazard from Matt Hazard Returns, he had some of the funniest lines. It's hazard time was like that. I just want to say that forever. And even though I don't know the character's name, Neil Patrick Harris, who plays the game developer in that, was pretty hilarious. And for those of you who think I'm saying Neil Patrick Harris was a game developer, no, he plays the game developer in the game. And if you don't know that, you should also go play it. Don't buy it, but just play it for the funniness. Because to hear a guy go, "It's hazard time," just 50 times is hilarious, I think. Next we have Demichev from Singularity. And I liked this guy. I didn't, let me rephrase that. I didn't like him. But it's not a spoiler or anything, but after like half an hour or 15 minutes in the Singularity, you're with your partner and you get captured by Demichev, and Demichev shoots your partner in the head. I don't know of very many other games that have actually killed your partner in the game. I know it's not that far, but you think, yeah, this guy's going to be with me, it's going to be so awful, and then he just gets shot in the face. I mean, really, I just love how has this no bars held back approach. I just really like it. Then my next character is Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell Conviction. And Sam Fisher was just interesting because he did all he could for his daughter. Once he found out she was alive, he even continued. And for those of you that didn't know that, sad on you. Just shame if you couldn't tell that from the trailers. Everybody knew that from the trailers. So, yeah, those are some of my top characters in video games recently and ever, really, on Xbox 360. Thanks, guys. If you would like the video, if you would leave comments, and if you would subscribe, that would be great. And I also just want to say one thing. You should go see A Farewell to MW2. It's a music video on Captain Sparkle's channel, and it's a favorited in my channel, so you should really watch that, because it's actually really good. And it's just hilarious to see what happens. And you need to watch it just to see the Stinger missile at the end. So just watch it. So thanks. Subscribe, comment, like. Goodbye.